whatever. But you're right. People will maybe stay the same on the scale, but not realize that their metabolism is lowering because their muscle mass has gone down and their fat has gone up as they age, but they don't know. I'm pretty sensitive to my body. You are. But the normal person isn't that in tune with muscle versus fat composition. Their pants might feel the same, things like that. So I want to get into what are those key things that are going to drop or increase that metabolism.
Yeah. And just to comment on the scale weight, the two most common issues I face on a daily basis with clients is fear over scale weight and uncertainty about why it changes. And then the psychological piece of motivation and accountability and all that fun stuff, right? Which is why we have coaches. And regarding the scale weight, I wish that we could just eliminate it for about a month for someone in other words, to force them to use other metrics to understand how their body is changing or feeling or whatnot from biofeedback, right? How is your digestion? Your digestion can tell you a lot about what's going on. How's your sleep and hunger? How are you performing in the gym? Are your numbers going up? Are you feeling stronger? How is your 3 p.m. energy, right? Like all of these things, your sleep, your stress, tell you a lot more than the scale does. And those are things that are tied to your metabolism, which is the question you asked, is the metabolic decline. First of all, your metabolism can never break. It can never fail. It's fundamental to your human physiology. It's not going away till the day you die. It's there. The problem is it's very dynamic and very responsive. So not only can it adapt to what you're doing and to the stress that you have on your body, but it can adapt very wildly, kind of like scale weight, right? Scale weight can go up and down due to fluid having nothing to do with fat mass. Well, your metabolism can adapt. If you are under eating, it's going to adapt. If you are, all the other things we talked about with stress, sleep, and everything else, and it's doing what it's programmed to do. It's trying to keep you at homeostasis. So again, I think of your recent guest talking about thyroid health. Yeah. Thyroid drops by 6% on average when you cut calories by 500. Below your maintenance, and that's normal. And guess what happens when you eat more again? It's going to recover back to full, its full situation. So your body has only so many resources. It's going to start turning things off. Reproductive hormones are at the top of the list because you don't need to create babies when you're trying to survive. Right?
No,
so it just starts to tick those things off. Yeah.
I do not want a fourth baby at the age of 49, please. And the stressors of life, I mean, like you're saying, and the guest was Dr. Eric Balkovich, is so profound yet so common sense what he's saying. Your cells are just adapting to the current state of health. And if you are under massive emotional stress or physiological stress from chronic cardio or from fighting a virus, or your liver is just struggling, your body's going to adapt, send the energy to where it needs to survive, lower the metabolic rate, increase the fat storage around the gut so that, if you're attacked by that tiger, it's going to protect your organs that are expensive and eat away the muscles on your legs and your arms. That is normal. That is a good thing. That is your body responding in the appropriate manner. We don't like it. So if we don't like it, we need to change the stressors, right? And take those out. So I want to talk about some of the stressors that people are engaging in, and they think they're healthy. The chronic cardio, working out wrong, maybe not working out, not, staying up late at night, thinking we don't need sleep, those types of things.
No, for sure. And there are some major buckets, right? There are major buckets. The first one, or not the first one, the ones that come to mind are going to be your energy balance, right? The amount of energy coming in, the calories coming in, not even what you eat or how much protein or anything else, just the total amount of energy. A vast majority of women, we just know this, are in a low energy state and have dieted 100 times in their life. And the more you diet, the more you exacerbate that set point and make it more difficult. But, the past is in the past. So what do you do going forward? So under eating, not fueling properly for what you're trying to do is a big one. Another one is absolutely strength training. For me, that's a non-negotiable for every human being. That's just my position on it. And there's a lot of reasons we can say that. We can talk about the fact that muscle is the most anti-inflammatory thing that you have. strength training itself is more anti-inflammatory than any other practice you can do based on like literally blood markers like CRP and ILK6 and everything that tells us we're inflamed. We know that being sedentary is one of the most inflammatory things we can do. The lack of blood flow, the sitting down behind a desk all day is one of the most inflammatory. And I talk about inflammation because I think there's misconceptions where we get into food-based inflammation when in reality, lifestyle-based inflammation is having the biggest mover for you when we talk about this. What else? So, we talked about having muscle mass. We talked about sleep and stress as well, recovery. So a lot of older folks, women, anybody over 40, 50, they're just under recovered. I see it all the time. You mentioned the chronic cardio, doing too much cardio, not sleeping enough, going to the gym and thinking you're working out for strength and muscle, but really you're just doing more cardio with light dumbbells, right? So those are kind of the big pillars. And when I think of inflammation specifically and the diet, I think of protein and fiber as well, right? We are eating usually a highly processed diet, and it's not about what you eat, it's more about the pattern, the overall dietary pattern. Are you prioritizing protein for your muscle? Are you prioritizing fiber for lots of reasons, right? For gut health? Are you prioritizing the amount of calories you eat? So those are the pillars.
So when